Hi, good morning. Welcome to Monday Carrie Yoga. It's also hashtag Move It Monday for Boulder Crest. So without wasting any time, it's already 8:01. If you have a mat or a blanket, go ahead and come to a nice comfortable seated position, and we'll begin with our breath, connecting with the inhale and the exhale through the nose, letting go of all of our thoughts and just bringing ourselves into the present. And that's what we call grounding in yoga. So, again, just come to your mat, sit however feels comfortable to you. I like to sit just in a nice, easy pose, sitting nice and tall, pressing those sitting bones into the mat, reaching the spine nice and long. Hands on your knees, hands in your lap, whatever feels good to you. And just start to breathe in and out of the nose. Deep inhales in and exhales out. Working on grounding ourselves on our mat this morning, bringing ourselves into the present, into this time for ourselves on our mats. Inhale, exhale. Feeling the rise and the fall of the diaphragm as you inhale, lifting it up, and as you exhale, letting it fall. Keeping your eyes closed or just keeping them downcast to the floor. Breathing in to those three parts of our body, what we call Dirga breathing. Breathing into the belly, into the diaphragm, into the top of the lungs as you inhale, and as you exhale, releasing it out of those body parts in reverse. Giving yourself and your mind a place to focus as you put your breath into each part of your body, filling up that belly, filling up the diaphragm, filling up the lungs with the breath, and then just releasing it in the opposite direction as you exhale. Notice the noise that your mind creates as you try to bring all of your attention and focus on your breath, on to your mat this morning. Recognize it, be aware of it, and just release it. It will come back into the mind, don't worry. And again, just recognize and release it just as easily as it came in. Inhale, exhale. One more cycle of breath. As you finish your cycle of breath, just think of your intention for your practice. Whether it's just finding mobility in your body on this Monday morning, finding 20 minutes of time to yourself for self-care, or just the physical poses of yoga. Think about that and come back to that during your practice. As your mind starts to wander, like I said, it will, come back to that to bring yourself back to your mat. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center, keeping those thumbs right in the center of that heart. We'll take one deep breath in through the nose, and then we will sigh everything out through the mouth. Inhale deeply. And exhale it all out through the mouth. Bring your arms and hands down by your side. Slowly open your eyes, bringing your attention back to the room, refocusing your eyes on the light. And just start rolling the shoulders up as you inhale, as you exhale, bringing them back. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders back. So it is important to warm up for yoga. It's important to connect with the breath, and 3 to 5 minutes of warm up is great for your body. You want to warm up your spine so you don't cause any injury during your practice. One more time, inhale up, exhale back. And we're just going to reverse. Inhale up, bring the shoulders forward as you exhale. Inhale them up towards the ears, exhale the shoulders forward. 3 more times. Last time, inhale up towards the ears, exhale, roll them forward. Inhale, bring the arms up, clasp your hands together, flip the palms so your palms are facing up towards the ceiling, finding length in the spine and in the arms. As you exhale, just reach over to the right. If this feels uncomfortable, go ahead and unclasp your hands, bring your right hand down, and just reach over with the left hand. Feel free to use a block. It's different lengths, so whichever length is good for you. Maybe you can come down on your forearm using a block, just finding a deeper stretch here. And again, gazing down at your right hand or looking up at the left hand, whatever feels good for you. One more breath. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Clasp the hands, flip those palms again up to the ceiling, just finding length through the spine, stretching up. And as you exhale, just exhale over to the left, finding a nice stretch in the right side body. Again, using that block or just bringing your left hand down to the mat, gazing up at that right hand or keeping your gaze at your left hand. Again, use a block if maybe you want to come deeper into the pose onto your forearm. Just finding a nice deep stretch. I know my body is a little tight from this weekend, running, biking. I did a HIIT workout. We're going to take it nice and easy today. One more breath. And inhale, bring the arms back up, clasp the hands one more time, flip those palms, reach, really reach, finding length. Breathing in. And as you exhale, bring the hands together through heart center. Perfect. We're just going to find another little twist here. Inhale, the arms rise. Bring the left hand to the right knee and the right arm behind you. A nice seated twist here, gazing over the right shoulder. Again, maybe put that block behind you. Play with the length of a block. Don't be afraid of props. It will help you get deeper into the pose, help you find more length. One more breath here. Inhale, arms rise, and as we exhale, just switch sides, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Again, use a block if you choose. Gazing over the left shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall, making sure we're not slouching down into the block, keeping our spine nice and long, opening up through the heart. A seated twist. One more breath. Inhale, bring the arms back to center. As you exhale, just fold forward, hinging over the hips, and just wherever your hands land is it perfect. Maybe keep up on your fingertips to find a deeper stretch, and then just slowly bring your head down to the mat, to the floor. Maybe you can walk your hands out a little bit more. You want to hang out here for a little bit. So you don't want to feel pressure. You want to feel like you can hang out here. So play with how that feels. If this is hurting your hips or you feel like your spine is too stretched, just bring your hands back in a little bit. Okay, but I do want to hang out here for about 5 breaths. Again, your palms can be flat. You can be on your fingertips, just engaging those fingers a little bit more. Breathing in and out of the nose. 3 more breaths. Last breath here. And then I just want you to walk your hands over to the right side of your body as far as you can, feeling good. So you're feeling a nice stretch here in the left side body. Maybe you put your hands on top of one another, bring that head down towards that right knee. One more breath here. Inhale, walk the hands back to center, and as you exhale, walk those hands over to the left side as far as it feels good for you. Maybe bringing the right hand on top of the left hand and bringing your head down towards the left knee this time. Again, just finding a nice stretch in our side bodies. One more breath. And on your next inhale, walk those hands back to the center and then push the hands towards yourself, sitting nice and tall. Let's come on to tabletop position, so all fours. I'm just going to continue warming up here, keeping those shoulders directly over the wrists. The knees are hip width distance apart. And go ahead and just, as you inhale, looking up to the ceiling, coming into cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the chin, cow pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, cat pose. Do that 5 more times using your own breath. Really arching the back as you inhale, gazing up at the ceiling. Feeling a nice stretch, tucking that tailbone. As you exhale, really round the back, tuck the chin, gaze at the belly button. Moving with our breath in and out through the nose. One more time here. Good, and just come to a nice flat back. Inhale, exhale, tuck those toes. Let's come into our first down dog of our session. So do what feels good for you, pressing those palms into the mat, trying to reach those heels down to the mat. Pedal the feet, bend one knee, lengthen the other. Shake your head, yes and no. Making sure we're breathing, not holding our breath. Again, the goal is to get the heels as close to the mat as possible. That may never happen if your hamstrings are really tight, and that's okay. You should feel a nice stretch here in the spine, the hips, the back of the legs, the calves, the quads. This is an active resting pose in yoga, so at any time you can come to a down dog. Let's take 2 more breaths. Again, just doing what feels good in your body this Monday morning. One more breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift that right leg up to the ceiling. Bend the knee, open that right hip, and just circle it out. Big circles with our knee. Going in one direction and then switching, going the other direction. Maybe you feel a couple hip pops. One more circle. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. Switching sides. Inhale that left leg to rise. Bend the knee, opening the hip, and then just using your knee, circle it out. Moving in one direction and then switching. One more big knee circle. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. Go ahead and walk the hands to meet the feet, coming into a nice forward fold. Again, keep a slight bend in the knees if the hamstrings are tight. Clasp opposite elbows with opposite hands and just sway back and forth, letting that upper body hang over the hips. I'm going to stay here for 5 breaths. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of the calves, in the back of the quads, and in the spine, in the neck. Three more breaths here in Uttanasana. Last breath. As you inhale, bring those fingertips to the shins. Come to a nice flat back, halfway lift. And as you exhale, plant those hands on the mat. Walk out to a nice plank pose. So we're in a nice high plank. Again, to modify, just drop to the knees. Let's engage that core. Keep your body in a nice long line. Your gaze is just forward, making sure your butt is down. It's not up and you're not sinking into the pose. Nice, long, and lean, keeping that core to the navel. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, tuck those elbows and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, keeping the hands by the ribs. Just come into a nice baby cobra. Putting a little stress on our back. Using those back muscles. Exhale, come onto the right cheek. Inhale, lift up into that baby cobra again. Exhale, come on down to the left cheek. Inhale one more time, baby cobra. Exhale down to the forehead. Inhale, press up to tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. So either your knees are far wide or your knees are together. Your arms can be out in front of you or they can be behind you, reaching for your feet. Forehead down. Rock back and forth on the hips. Just reconnect with your breath here. Inhale, exhale through the nose. One more breath. Inhale, come into tabletop. Bring that right foot in between the hands, coming into a nice low lunge here. So once you feel nice and grounded with that right foot into the mat, inhale, bring the arms up, pressing in to the right hip. You can keep your arms here. You can bring them down into cactus arms, bending the elbows, turning those pinkies in to the ears. Or you can clasp your hands and bring them onto that right knee, pressing up, coming into a slight back bend. 2 more breaths here. Yes, Sela is here. She's finally realized I'm doing yoga. 1 more breath. We're going to come into half splits. So as you inhale, lengthen that right foot, sorry. Coming up onto the heel. Bring your fingertips down on either side of that leg. You're pressing back towards your mat. You want to make sure you're not slumping into the pose. You can stay right here, lifted. You should feel a nice stretch in that hamstring. These are great hip openers we're doing today. Sometimes I like to rock coming in to a low lunge. Exhale, come back into that half split. Inhale, low lunge, just adding some dynamic movement. Just feels a lot better to me. So inhale, coming into that low lunge. Exhale, Lengthening the leg. One more time. One more breath. Can I come into half pigeon? So heel toe your foot to the left side of the mat. Drop that right knee. Again, you want to try to keep your shin parallel to the top of the mat. If you can't do that, go ahead and tuck your right foot into that left hip. Use your block. Move it, Tuts. So you can come onto your palms using your block, staying right here. That's perfect. Maybe you drop down onto your forearms. This is also perfect. Maybe you remove the block, coming all the way down, bringing your head down to the mat. Pigeon pose. So choose what feels good for you. We're going to hang out here for 5 breaths. If you need to bring the block underneath that right hip, do that as well. Just make sure you're not holding your breath, but you're sending your breath to that area, probably to the right hip is where you want your breath, where you want to find length. Let me see. Move. 3 more breaths here in our pigeon pose. Last breath. To come out of the pose, if you have a block under your hip, go ahead and remove that now. Come up onto your palms, lifting that upper body up. Lift up on the left leg and foot. Swing the right foot back, again coming into a plank pose. Modify, drop to your knees. Use your core. Bring that belly to the navel, like I always talk about. Let's take 2 more breaths here in our plank. One last breath. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, tuck those elbows lower down to the mat. Inhale that baby cobra. Exhale, come into tabletop. Bring the left foot between the hands, however you need it to get it there. Coming into low lunge. Your hands on either side of that left foot, pushing into the left hip a little bit, grounding that front foot. And when you're ready, inhale, arms rise. Couple of options. Your arms can stay here. Cactus arms, clasp them together, bring them on that left hip to a nice slight back bend. 2 more breaths. Again, these are all great hip openers to start our week. If we anticipate sitting a lot, 1 more breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and lengthen that left leg coming onto the heel, bringing the palms down to either side of the leg. It's coming into a nice half split. So you can stay right here on your fingertips, gaze is forward. You can try bringing your head down to the mat. Might be difficult if your hamstrings are tight, mine are. Or you can bring that dynamic movement. So I like to inhale, bring it into low lunge. Exhale, lengthen, half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Do this for 3 more breaths, whether you're holding your half split or you're moving with your breath. Do what feels good to you. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, heel toe that left foot over to the right side of the mat, coming into pigeon pose. Drop the left knee. Again, use a block under that left hip. Make sure I can get mine the way I want it. Staying on your palms, dropping down to your forearms, or fully extending your arms, coming onto your forehead. Honor your body and do what feels good. Making sure you're breathing, sending the breath to that outside left hip. Play with your edge a little bit, making sure that there's no pain, that there's no burning or shooting sensations in any of your muscles. That's usually a sign of pain. But if it feels like a nice deep stretch, use your breath. Send your breath there. Focus on the inhales and the exhales. 3 more breaths here in Pigeon Pose. Last 2. Last breath. If you're using blocks, go ahead and remove those, pressing up onto your palms. Lift up on that right back foot this time. Swing the left leg. Coming into plank pose again. Holding here for 5 breaths. Really working on that core. Last 3. Imagining that navel touching the spine. Last 2. Bring a smile to the face. Last breath. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, tuck the elbows lower down to your belly. Inhale, just come into a nice cobra. Look left, look right, look left, look right. Inhale, come into tabletop. Exhale, drop onto that right hip. Swing your legs around, pressing the soles of your feet into your mat. Watch out, tits. Inhale the arms forward, and as you exhale, go ahead and use that core that we've been working on to slowly come down to a nice flat back. Gently. Use the core. Engage. Perfect. Inhale, bring the knees to the shin or to the chest. Roll back and forth. Come into our supine twist, but we're going to let our legs hover. So we're going to drop them over to the right side. Let the knees hover. Again, using the core. Arms come out to a T. Pressing both of our shoulders into the mat. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, over to the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left side. Inhale, center 5 more times. Exhale to the right. Go ahead and finish. I know I'm more than 20 minutes now. Stop. When you're finished, bring the knees back to the center. Give yourself a nice hug. Inhale, bring the feet up to the air. Knees are bent. We're coming into happy baby. So again, reaching with your hands on the outside of the feet, pressing the knees down towards the mat. Happy baby, opening up those hips. Maybe straightening one leg, keeping the other knee bent, rocking back and forth. Again, using our core. Stay up and balanced. If you fall out of it, no worries. It's just yoga. This is an awesome pose to do for a few minutes each day. I know I can feel the stretch in my quads. Pressing those knees down to the mat, opening up my chest, letting the blood flow. Man, it feels good. 3 more breaths. Just like a happy baby. Last breath. Today we're going to end with legs up the wall. So you're going to extend your legs up. If they're really tight, keep a nice bend in them. If you want to use a pillow or a blanket, you could put it under your lower hips. But we will end today in Viparita Karani. So pressing, tucking your shoulder blades, your arms are by your side. You want to use a block. Again, you're just putting it under that lower back. Keeping the legs up, keeping the feet flexed as if you're standing on that ceiling. The block will help you. A pillow or a blanket or a towel rolled up will do the same as well. But just hang out here as long as you can. Let your body rejuvenate, melt into the mat. Feel all that nice, good blood and oxygen flow through the body as you stay here. This is a great pose to do before bed, before you get on an airplane or off the airplane. It's a pose to do anytime. The ancient yogis believe it is a destroyer of old age. So if that doesn't make you want to come to this pose, I don't know what will. But just finish your session here today, letting your body relax. Thanking yourself and your body for the movement and the time that you gave for self-care today. If you don't have time to hang out, roll onto the left side of your body, push yourself out to a nice seated position, keeping those eyes closed. Maybe if you're working on a lotus, half lotus, bringing one of your feet to the crevice of that hip, sitting nice and tall. Bring the hands to heart center. Thank you for showing up on your mat today, for moving with me on this Monday. I hope your week starts off wonderful in this July. Stay cool. Keep flowing on, yogis. In deepest gratitude, namaste. Thanks everyone for coming to Carrie Yoga this Monday morning. I'm only 33 minutes, so I feel good about that. But I wish everyone a happy Monday. We will do this through July. I know I think this is the last Monday in July. So look out for another schedule as we figure out what we'll do in August. If you have any feedback, please drop us a line here, or you can email us at info@bouldercrest.org. But until next time, flow on, yogis.